Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Today, altcoin I am here to discuss with you is called Prometheus, also known as the PROM token. So, by the end of this video, you are going to understand the fundamental of what this Prometheus is, or what Prometheus Lab is, and understand the token, also known as PROM. And then we're going to go further and talk about the price, because we as traders are here for the price. Where will the price be going in 2022? Is it a good investment? This you're going to be able to answer yourself, because I'll be sharing my opinion of this market. And remember, I do not use indicators, so we're going to be drawing the chart from scratch using simple action strategy that was developed by me. Yes, I developed this strategy myself, and I have some basic laws and rules and regulations that help me successfully trade it. Of which, if you're interested in knowing more about it, we'll talk about it at the end of the video. So, first, let's understand what is Prometheus Lab. So, Prometheus is currently trading at the price of $11.30, of which it has seen a downside move of about 1.7% to the downside. Now, when we talk about the circulatory supply, the current circulatory supply of Prom is about 16 million point 450 token. So approximately 16.450 million tokens. Now, with this token, knowing this current circulatory supply, the total supply is about 19.250 million. About 19 million, and we're already having like 16 million in circulation, and the total supply is 19 million. The market cap, how much is the market cap? The current market cap is around 18 185.837 million approximately. I repeat, 185.837 million approximately. That is the current market cap, of which it has even dropped about 1.7% in the last 24 hours. So if we go further to look and scrutinize these statistics, then let's look at the all-time high. If we're talking about the all-time high this price, this coin or this token has ever seen, then we see that Prometheus has hit the price of about $106.12 around April 2021. That was around 9 months ago. But it has lost about 89% of that move, and that is why it is currently trading around $11.30. And if we're talking about what about the lowest price it has ever gone to, well, according to statistics, the lowest price that Prom has ever seen is around 0.1005 cents, which was around 2 years ago, November 2019. So, what is Prometheus? Well, Prometheus describes itself. Okay, Prometheus network describes itself as a secure and decentralized ecosystem that is designed to solve real world problems in terms of data brokerage. It was created for the influencers marketing, medical, and insurance data market industries. Now, Prometheus Network is developed by the Prometheus Lab, a company that is owned by data scientists and entrepreneurs. So let's look at the website. So this is what the website looks like. And you can say it said is a decentralized framework for data monetization. Now, secured and private data exchange and freedom of expression for anybody. Now, the most important thing, like they said, is the decentralization that it brings. Now, Pronto fuels people own data market, introducing new ways to interact with data and profit from it, right? Here you can use here they claim to use P2P approach to operate beyond any border of judiciary, right? Or judification, right? So They said that their blockchain based infrastructure is designed to communicate worldwide and at the same time free without any censorship. And they said it allows you to buy and sell any data in a secure and decentralized manner. So if you're interested in buying data, you can do that through Prometheus network, and it's an open source and public, and it is free to use and to join. Nobody owns it. That is why it is decentralized. If you're talking about their core features, you're talking about transparency, censorship resistance, privacy and security, as well as it is mutable, meaning that data in the Prometheus network is stored forever in a distributed data storage. So some of their products that they offer include Prosper, which is a non-custodial cross-chain predicting market, right? They partnered with Amima, oh my goodness, Animoca brands. Prosper provides on-chain liquidity aggregation to bridge liquidity gap, and as well as they have other apps that other products that includes Promify, a fan token platform on blockchain, enabling fans of celebrities to buy into their favorite celebrities' coin to easily and early get access to exclusive NFT drops, concert tickets, and more. So this is in terms of entertainment and the celebrity industry. Also, remember we talked about these deals with data, right? So and then we talk about Release Network. Now, the Release Network is the world's first to launch a mobile game for the mass audience, including using blockchain technology based on substrate in the Polkadot ecosystem, using a substrate in the Polkadot ecosystem. So this is what they offer, and that is the basics of their product. So the question now is, do we think that Prom is capable of recovering the move of 80% that it has lost to the downside? This is what we're going to be finding out, because now we're going to bring in the price action aspect. And I'm going to first of all start by getting the all-time resistance, and which is actually the all-time supply, and the all-time support, which is also the all-time demand area. Now these lines might not be good enough to just tell me where the supply range, because if you talk about supply, you're talking about a range area, an area on my chart, and it's not visible to my eyes. These are areas on my chart when price is going up, and that stops price from further going up, which means there is some sort of supply lying in those areas. These are the resistance areas. Now when we talk about support, we're talking about areas on my chart that stops price from going further down when price tend to be falling, right? These areas are very important and can be talked as the demand areas of the chart. So these lines are representing both demand and supply, which means they are representing both buyers and sellers at the same time. They are interchangeable. The reason being that when price is going up, price always tend to break the resistance, right? Now mind you, this is weekly chart. Price tends to break the resistance, and as demand rise, price keeps breaking resistance. The same thing goes for support. As price the supply in the market continues to rise, you're going to find price keep falling until it finds enough demand to rise it up. So as you can see, I have taken note of all those important areas, but you can see this chart looks very, 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 very jam-packed, and you might not be able to understand anything. The line is not enough to tell me if I'm to buy or sell this coin. The reason is countless times this line has been broken. Like you can see it pierced there. So there's some point where it pierced through the line, and there's some point it didn't even get to the line at all. So taking note of all this, I know that making decision with the line will be a little bit difficult, and this is why I am going to bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy. Now mind you, this is weekly chart, so by the time I go to lower time frame, it's going to make a little sense. Now because I'm using weekly chart, you're going to be very patient if you're following this analysis. Weekly chart take a minimum of a week, a minimum of a month to play out. So this analysis is analysis that you're going to be dealing between a month to 3 months to play out. You're going to give it time. You're going to be patient for this analysis to play out. So all my analysis are not short time frame. If you are interested in going for short time frame, you can come and trade live with me. I trade lower time frame, like 4 hours on daily basis, with my family, which is the Makaveli traders, which I will talk more about at the end of this video. If you're interested in joining me in learning this strategy that I'm using, you can come and trade live with me. So proceeding further, I'm going to get the support and resistance, which I just did. Now, this is the boss strategy I'm talking about. And when we're talking about the boss strategy, I'm going to explain it to make it easier for you to understand. Now, this boss strategy, I know it's going to be weird and strange to you if you've not, because I developed it. So it's obvious that it's going to be strange to you, but it's still pure price action. So if you pay attention, you're going to be able to understand. So this is the box containing the entire price since the life history of this coin. Now, if you look closely here, this is the demand area and this is the supply area. So now I have gotten, instead of just using a line to say this is supply and this is supply, I have decided to use an area to treat my demand as an area and my supply as an area. So the box has both supply and demand area. So just like this box has both supply and demand area, I'm going to tell you that I still see a very funny move, because if I zoom in, I'm going to get a clearer view of the candles, and I can see that this candle somehow have found itself stuck in this range, which is seems to be obviously an important range if price can move out of it. So I'm going to also bring in another, yet another box to contain that same area that price has been stuck in for quite some time, right? So this is my second box. So but you can see that this box is not touching the other box and is quite separate from it. So I am going to go ahead to find the support and resistance of the new box, right? So the support and resistance, the resistance is around here. So I'm going to try and use blue for that, and I'm going to also find the support, which is this demand area, right? And I can tell you the demand is around here. So this is the demand area. So why? When I'm looking for my support and resistance, I really need multiple touches, and I can see there's a lot of touches on this area, and that's why I took note of that. And also, you can see here, let's use white so that you can see the maps I'm making here, 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 here. So these areas are very important to me. I needed to take note of that. So I see all the dramas that happened in the previous past in this area. So I've taken note of the support and resistance that is existing. But I can tell you this: my new support and resistance that I just drew, that's this inner box. Please, it is going to be representing my daily box. So this is the daily demand and supply area, and this is the daily demand area. With this at the back of my mind, now I'm going to try to interpret the chart. But before I go further into interpreting my chart, I think I'm going to try to see if there are some other patterns that are building inside the box. So what will help me with this is to use the trend line to look for patterns, pattern formations. So before I get this particular pattern, I can see there's already a broken one right here, which they tried to get back into here and they failed obviously by closing below it. Now, okay, at the same time, I can tell you that if I'm to bring my seller line now, before we make do of this seller line, I want to make do of this. So I'm going to get that. I'm also going to try to see. This is obviously not gonna work. You can see there's no connection, there's no second rejection, right? So there's no second rejection. Even if I try to make it, it is just don't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't connect. I need a minimum of 2 touches. So this particular line is still a hanging line because there's no second clear rejection. Even if I try to place it here, it doesn't look like it's connecting. So this line is obviously hanging, so there is no second rejection. But then this is why I try to form this line. Now mind you, this is weekly chart, like I said. So let's go to daily chart and see why the second one is likely going to work, right? So remember, every line I'm drawing, I'm looking for a minimum of what? 2 touches. So you can see on this line, you can see I have one, I have two. So that's quite enough for me. And you can see the third one right there. So with this, I know that here something happened. They broke down the support they were trying to hold here. They broke down the support. But when they broke down the support, they touched the demand area, which, yes, a bounce is expected, and they did bounce. But here's what happened: when a support is broken, it becomes a resistance, and when a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. So they are interchangeable automatically. What does this do? This is why price got rejected when it returned here, because one, it is a broken support, right? So here, this particular support, this particular trend line that we've been respecting in the past, you can see the respect in the past was broken here. So when they tried to come back, the same trend line rejected the price. Now, not just the same trend line, this seller's line also caused another rejection. So what am I trying to say in other words? What I'm trying to say is this: since price is within our seller area, this is the chances of what could play out. Obviously, now price is within the demand area, so you can see the reaction. So a bounce is likely around here. We could get a bounce that could return right. The bounce will get reaction around $15 range, and they could push down, right, again, and then move up. Right now, moving up, now this push down could either stop here or extend into the demand area. This is all demand area, so it doesn't matter how far it extend. So the bounce could happen from where it is now, or they could push a little further down, or they could push. The bounce could start from where it is right now, around this $11, or they could push a little down to what, to now there is a support around $8-9 range. Around that $8-9 range, we mark the bottom of the demand on the daily chart, the demand area. Now they could turn from where they are because they are already inside the demand area. So within this demand area, which are around the price of $12 to $8 range, price is likely going to experience a bounce, right? So this bounce is likely going to take this price up, right? When price goes up, there's a $14 range here, right? There's a $14 range. They're going to be a reaction that could push them down. Now, this reaction, they will push down. Like I said, they could get to $12 again, or around $10. Then they will reverse. $12 is still good, but they will reverse, and they will get another reaction around $18-19, which could push them down again. Now, the thing is, they could go above it. If they go above it, they could encounter another reaction around $24. Now, all these inside reaction are going to be not going to be a clear move. It's going to be choppy move. The reason is, you can see this is the choppy move, keep going up and return, up and return, up and return. The same thing has been playing in the past, and the same thing, history repeats itself, is going to play again. So this coin is going to have this choppy move, which is going to demand a lot of patience from you. But obviously, we could see a spark depending on the demand rising here. They could attack this $35 again, but a reaction is likely very possible to push them down when they get to this $35, right? A reaction that could push them down to that $20 or range. Now, if worst case scenario, they could find themselves touching $8 to $6 range, really, $7 at worst case scenario. But I really see them being in a demand area. So let's say the worst happened to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin decided to dump. If Bitcoin decided to dump, then let's say altcoin always react when Bitcoin start dumping, and we have this altcoin pushing as low as somewhere around $4. Really, this is worst case scenario. So let your mind be at rest. This is worst case scenario. I do see really strong support around $8 to $10 range. So between this $10 to $20, chances are high of a bounce. So the bounce could lead them to $35, but they could return all the way to $18 or $24 before moving up. So the goal is they are going to try to return above this buyer's line, which is going to be a struggle, right? Because we keep getting reaction. So this is what I see on prawn. Prawn, first of all, need to conquer $35 to $36. In fact, from $30 is going to be a struggle. Once they conquer it, then be rest assured. But they could get pushed down, but be rest assured they will attack $66. This is going to be a long time move. In fact, I'm saying this is going to last 3 months to 6 months. So patience is needed, but within this time, we are going to get an upside. So if you like my analysis, now mind you, keep note that you need, if you're entering this market, please use stop loss. The stop loss shouldn't go more than $8 range. Put your stop loss, anything that goes below it, you should be out of the market. It's good to monitor loss and control your loss. If you're interested in learning training, come and join Makaveli Traders. Access is currently open. I trade high leverage. I'm going to give you 3 months intensive training on Zoom, after which you're going to be training with me for a lifetime. Access is only open 3 times in a year: January, May, and October. And access will be closing in 10 days time. I have limited number of space available for you to join, but once you join, you will get trained, you get access to trading books, you get access to all my trading plan, learn more about Bitcoin Gorilla strategy, and trade with me for a lifetime. One time payment for a lifetime access